Greetings everybody, this is Alexander with Let's Play King's Quest III, To Err is Human. This is the Redux version. AGD Interactive set this one out earlier this year. Thrice now I curse, and from your first your family shall feel the worse. Soon shall you see they'll surely be in the most dire jeopardy. Then as your foe, 'tis I who'll sow the spell to cause your heart to slow. And for my shame, for you the same, o'er Daventry your heirs shan't reign. Most of this is voice acted. The little bits that are not, I will read. As I mentioned, this is a Redux version, meaning it's a reimagining of the original game. There are quite a few new additions, some old things kept. I would suggest, if you prefer the old style King's Quest III, to check out gog.com, goodoldgames.com. They have a set for 1, 2, and 3 for I think $6 or something like that. If you're interested in the Redux version, which is what I'm playing right now, keep watching. If you are a purist, go for the old version. There's also a direct remake, I think an AGI remake of this game, that is a direct remake of King's Quest III. If you'll remember, AGD Interactive also did the Quest for Glory 2 that I played recently. They've also redone the first two King's Quest games in their own style. Also Redux versions, I believe. Feel free to check those out. I'll have links in the doobly. But for now, we'll go through the beginning. And I'm going to do my best to do this game as quickly as possible, meaning we'll do as many of the side things as we can within one go. The game is timed for the beginning, and the main difficulty with the timed part is trying to get everything done within a 5-minute stretch of time. Luckily, time stops whenever you have a dialogue box open and people are talking, so you essentially have more time than really necessary to get quite a bit done in each little push. The main thing that you need to do when you go to town is to collect materials for spellcasting, which will happen later in the game. What we're going to try and do is get the major spell out of the way by the second 5-minute period that you have to do this. You have 3 sets of 5-minute periods. If you can't finish your spell within that time period, you are SOL. You have to feed the wizard every time he comes home. If you cannot provide him with nourishment, you get killed. So, a child from the kingdom of Daventry has been abducted by a guy in a black cloak. Here's our protagonist.
Gwydion. Gwydion.
There'll be times where I take a brief second to write down notes for this game. That's what was great about a lot of the old adventure games, is they had reason for you to interact with the game outside of the game. Keeping notes, making maps, figuring out where items were. It's really an interesting premise that we don't have anymore in gaming.
Gwydion, what are you doing, boy?
I was just looking.
How dare you take leave of your duties? Resume your chores immediately.
Yes, Mananin. Master.
Had your parents survived your wretched infancy, the sight of your sloth alone would have killed them.
They would not have been proud of me.
No, but fate has favored you. Few orphaned youths can know such fortune. You are lucky to be here to serve me.
I am very lucky.
Indeed. Now get to work.
So angry.
Such is the story of young Gwydion's life to this point. What's a poor boy to do? Oh well, in resignation, Gwydion obediently follows Mananin into the house.
Alright, at the top you see the timer was at 2 seconds. One good thing to do is to go into your game and bump up the game speed. What this does is it increases your character's speed without hindering you, or hindering your time. So we'll go ahead and save start of LP. Save. Alright, so for the first little bit of the game, what you want to do is fill your box up a little bit. So we'll go into this room here.
The old wizard looks at you menacingly.
My office needs dusting. Attend to it now.
The perfect servant, aren't you?
So what you want to do is follow his orders whenever he gives them to you. He said his office needs dusting, so we'll do so. This wastes down some time, but I'll show you when to worry about the timer. For now, we just want to do as much as we can within the house. We collected the cup off of the table. There's some items in here.
You take the carving knife from the iron rack and keep it with you. The iron rack is... You take the wooden spoon from the iron rack and keep it with you. You retrieve the clay bowl from the kitchen shelf and take it with you.
Here are the 3 pieces of food I talked about.
You take the mutton chop and carry it with you.
It's just good to keep them on you.
You take the loaf of bread and carry it with you. You take the fruit and carry it with you.
We'll head upstairs. Alright, this is your room. You can hide stuff under your bed. Whenever I want to talk about something, I'll bring my cursor up to stop the time. When you go into your inventory, sometimes you'll have items with a blue ring around them. You do not want Mananin to catch you with those, or else he will kill you. So, I think one example is already up here. We'll check it out.
Your lord and master keeps a cold eye on you when he's not watching everyone else.
Okay, so Mananin's up here. We don't want to grab that fly just yet. Yeah, we don't...
Those little devils, what are they doing?
Alright, we'll leave the fly there for now. One thing you can do to pass the time, I think it passes 2 minutes, is go to your room, Grab your bed and hit sleep. Passes 2 minutes of game time.
The wizard gives you an evil glare.
I have decided to take a journey.
Alright, my timer has switched to green if you noticed. That means from now we have, I think, 5 minutes to do everything that we want to do. One big thing is to steal a lot of shit from the house, so let's get to that. We'll start with the fly wing.
You pick up the dead fly and drop it into your hand. Disgustedly, you look at it. Picking off its wings, you throw the rest away.
If you'll notice during that dialogue box, our time stayed still. So we want to grab the mirror from this drawer.
Wizard's hand mirror.
That's it. And make sure to close up everything that you open. You want the...
You've never wanted to smell like a rose, but you cannot...
The rose item from there. There are 2 items in the wardrobe. You click on the cloak.
Pockets of the black cloak. Suddenly you discover a small brass key. What could it unlock? You search behind the clothes hanging in the wizard's closet. You're startled to discover an ancient parchment scroll. Its ink has faded, but it seems to be a map. Taking this treasure, you leave everything else exactly as it was.
Alright. Oh, wait, no. Ah. Definitely want to close that. There's one item in here that we can collect.
You open the desk's only drawer, but you see nothing interesting.
Are you sure?
Again, you search the contents of the drawer, but find nothing interesting.
Don't lie to me.
Persistent, aren't you?
I am.
Upon closer examination of the contents of the desk, you find a letter. You remove it and take it with you.
So we've got a letter. Let's read it. Dear Manannan, it saddens me to learn that no word of your sister Hagatha has reached you of late. We can but hope she is well and able somewhere, to do as she pleases, to whomever she pleases. My own sister is well, and thank you for asking. She was taken with you once, before you grew that excessive beard, and insists that you are a handsome man in your day. I can only imagine. Is your servant performing as adequately as the last? You certainly pick them, don't you? Rumor has it that the father had a particular say in who this latest slave would be. Such a rare honor. I'm really quite envious. Then again, you name them all Gwydians, so what does it matter where they come from? The way they meet their end all on their 18th birthdays. You are such a poetic dear. As for my own darling boy, he is performing his roles as a loyal son superbly. One might think he'd been doing so his whole life.
There seems to be more written on the other side of the letter.
In matters of the faith, my response is as it has always been. We must continue to do what we can to usurp control from the unfaithful, so that the world may be prepared for the great day. For my part, I have made plans to rid this realm of my enemy. Being so predictable and obliviously innocent, she will make easy prey. The time comes soon, Brother Manannan, and our long wait will be over. May swift destruction come to all those who oppose us. In the Father we trust, L. P.S. You really shouldn't keep cats around the house. Steeds make much better pets. So, for now, we're going to go ahead and switch on to the next part. I'll see you there.